Okay, today I'm going to show you how to update a record in the table. And so I'm going to create a form uh, that will display the record that I'm going to update, and it's going to have fields that can be edited, and the fields are going to be pre-populated with the current field values. And then so the idea is that you edit the form, and uh, and then you click on the submit button, and that sends the data to your PHP program, which takes it in and updates the record uh, by doing an update statement. And so what can happen is let's say two people are updating the same record, and you go there and you grab the form, you go to the form and you load the record into your form, and you start modifying it, and then somebody else goes and loads up the form and with the same record and starts updating, and then you click your submit button and your changes go in. Fine, the changes are there, but then the other guy clicks his submit button and his changes go in, but he was modifying data before you did it, so your updates get wiped out. And so we don't want that. So what we do to protect ourselves is when we do when we load our record, when we load our form, we save all the original values. And when we click the submit button to do the update, we also send back all the original values that we originally grabbed. And then when the update statement is executed, you have a great big long where clause where you will only update the record if the present values are these values which you originally started with. And if they weren't, then your update does not take, because you're not up, because the update statement cannot find the record that you specified, because some values have changed. So then that means you just have to restart your update again. And by the way, the other guy's update took. So let's start. So I'm going to use the database the table that we just created from yesterday, and you'll see that in the video. There's just one part, this last part of the video, that still needs to be put up there. But I'm going to modify this form here, and I'm going to make it so when you click on a button, click on something, it goes to another page that's a form, and the form has all these fields in it. So I'm going to log in a cPanel. Go to File Manager, and I'm going to go into my public HTML and go into my APIs, and I'm going to update this display attempts.php. So let's find that display attempts.php, and here it is. So where do we display out the table? Here it is. I'm gonna add another. I don't know. Maybe I'll add another button here. Add another column called update, and I'll add another column here. Doesn't matter. And I will just make. I guess I'll just make an update link. Update. And so I'm going to make this a link, href equals, and I'm going to name the page update.php, update form.php. And I need to pass along a key. Oh, I don't have a key. All right, let me just close this up for a second here. I'll come back to it. So let's take care of that key problem. Let's go back here. Let's go back to cPanel, and I'm going to go to phpMyAdmin. And here we are. So let's look at the table. It's this table. It's this attempts table. And we see that there's not really any key that we could use. We could use a time as a key. That assumes that there's no two people playing the game at the same time and they submit exactly the same. They submit an attempt exactly at the same time. I'm not going to bother with that. I'm going to see if I can figure out how to create just a surrogate key. So let me add a column. I'm going to add it at the beginning of the table. And I'm going to call it attempts key. Attempts key. I'm going to call it attempt ID. Attempt ID. Integer. Let's see. Primary auto increment. Save. Okay, now let's browse. And now I've got this nice attempt ID, all nice and incrementing like that. Okay, very excellent. So, great. Now let's go back to my thing here. And what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to put, when we're doing our select, how am I selecting? I list all the fields, so I'm going to list the attempt ID. And I think, so right here I'm going to put question mark attempt ID equals, and I got to put some echoing there. I'm just going to grab this here like this. And I'm going to put that there. And I'm also going to put it here. And I'm going to have this echo out attempt ID. And I'm going to have the attempt ID be right here so I see what it is. And that's what the link is going to be. It's going to be pretty small. Maybe I'll put a couple of hyphens there. Okay, and I'll just leave that there. Let's see what this looks like. And let me go back to this page and do a refresh. And here we go. We have all of these. So this looks like somebody in the class right now. Or it could be just some random person out on the internet. Anyway, so now what I have here, and if you roll the mouse over, we see that the attempt ID appears right here in the query string. So I can just, so when I create this, I have to create this PHP page. It's just going to be a page, and I'll be able to grab that out, and I'll be able to do a select just based on the attempt ID, and I'll get that record, and I'll be able to populate a form. Just when I click on it now, there's nothing there. So let's create that page. It's called updateform.php. So let me go into the file manager here, and I'm going to create a new file called updateform.php. And I'm going to need some. Here's this is my display form. So let me open this up. Open it up, edit it. And it's blank. So let me go over here, and I'm going to start by grabbing all this stuff. I'm just going to grab it all the way down to what the heck? I'm gonna grab this one. I'm gonna grab the whole thing. Oh look, let me fix that first. Okay, I'm gonna just grab this whole thing. Copy, paste, and this is update form.php. So let me put that up here. Update form, and oh yeah, that's there. Okay, so this is that. That's that. Is anything coming in? No. The only thing that's coming in is I'm going to leave these here because I think I'm going to use the same form to process the updates. So I'm going to leave these requests here because they're going to be coming in when I click submit. So I'm going to just say that we can update the first name, last name, and address, but let's say we don't. Well, whatever. So let me get rid of. Okay, so I'm going to grab one of these. I'm going to use one of these and make it say attempt ID and make it. So that's what comes in. And I'm not going to put anything else in. I don't need anything else. But I'm just leaving these here for later. Okay, you'll see when I use those. And then that connects to the database. This is the SQL statement. I want to select all this stuff from attempts where I don't need this. I don't need any of this. Where attempts ID equals $attempts. Attempt. What is it? It's singular. Singular. It is. Attempt ID. Attempt ID. Where attempt ID equals $attempt ID, and we don't need single quotes because it's an integer, but you can always put them there. It's fine. It's kind of a safety thing. So that's just going to grab our record, and then we're going to come down here, and it's going to say update form. This is going to be the title. And I'm going to have a, okay, yeah, let's see, I'm going to have a table, but my table is going to be more like this. Let's see, I need to have this thing, but I don't need to have a while loop because I'm only going to execute that once because I'm just getting one row back. I'm getting one record back, so I don't need a while. Could, but I'm just going to cut that out, and I can actually just put that here. I just put it there. So now row already has everything I need in it, and I can leave the echoing of the SQL statement there just for whatever. Okay, now I'm gonna get rid of all of this, and I've got a tr there, and I'm gonna do td, and this is gonna be first name /td. Let's get rid of this. And then it's going to display out the first name, and then I'm going to be done with the row, and then I'm going to start a new row, and then I'm going to display out the last name, and then I'm going to let's see, I can start doing copy pasting. Copy paste. Copy paste. Address. What the hell, I'll make it so you can update the user number and the actual number if you want to, but not the time. Okay. Oops. I need a submit button. let's see, call span equals 2, align equals center, and I'm just going to say input type equals submit, value equals submit, update. And this is a form. This is a form. So form action equals, and I'm going to just go back to itself. I'm going to have it just go back to itself, and up at the top, I'm going to look to see if there's actually an update. It's actually requesting an update, and if it is, I'll do the update at that time. So there's a couple of ways that you can make it go back to yourself, but the way they teach you in PHP to make it go back to yourself is you go like this. You're going to put in it's going to be within some quotes there, and I'm going to do a method equals post. But inside here, I'm going to put some PHP, question mark PHP, echo, and this is how you do it. You say $sign server. It's a server variable, and it's PHP underscore self. So basically, it's the form. When you submit it, it calls itself again. And so up at the top here, we're going to look to see by whatever comes in if the page is actually being called because it wants to update something, or the page is just being called because it wants to display out, the form. So let's so that's that, and let me fix this. All right, let's take that seriously. I'm gonna close.